outside, it's snowing. So with that, I'm taking it just inside with no equipment needed, just my body weight and just some space. 10 move exercise routine with mobility and abs. Just a quick routine you can do without any equipment. So I'm gonna get into it. So first I'm going to be attacking my hips, the weakest area in my mobility arsenal. So this is just a basic movement to try and loosen up the hips and try to get as much mobility. It's called rotations, and the goal is to bring your hip into a huge circle so that it gets the full range of motion that you could try and increase with practice. I'm really terrible at these, that's why I'm doing them. And I'm about to do slow and deliberate reps to try and increase that mobility. Back and forth would be 1 rep, trying to get to 5. Try to draw enormous circles. We're gonna do 5 on each side. The left side's a lot better for me. That's the hips. Now, I like to address some knees over toes work. And that starts with just laying against the wall, doing tib raises. Can't see my feet. And you raise your toe to your nose. And that's gonna fire your tibialis, an important area for strengthening the area around the knee. And you can make it more difficult by going out, and easier by moving closer to the wall. I'm gonna try and get like 25 of these.
I'm gonna feel a burn in the lower half of the leg, in front of the shin. And then if I can't go anymore, then I'll just move closer to the wall. Really can't move my shins after many of these reps. It's become so difficult trying to squeeze every single last bit I can.
That's the ankles. I'd say my ankle mobility is better than my hip mobility, but now we're back to the hips. And this is something you may have to progress by leaning forward from this back heel on the wall. It might be pretty painful at this stage, but you can move your way up and you'll feel a really deep stretch in the front of this hip flexor. You want it deep enough so it's not excruciating painful, but a little pain is good. And the goal here is similar thing, rep wise. You're extending through this front, trying to touch the wall in front of you, or a space, kiss the space in front of you, keeping your body straight up and just leaning a tiny bit forward. But this is really great to mitigate sitting, the negative effects, squeezing the backside, and get the full stretch. Back to the knees. A joint that can be easily more mobile by just simply going, again, knee over the toe. Huge fan of this stuff. And if you're not able to get to this position, we're just going reps here. this split squat, you can always take an elevated surface and do the exact same thing with less resistance. You don't have to hold for too long. Just staying in this nice and easy knee over toe translation. Getting that front foot elevated off the ground. Place a nice stress on the front of the knee, pain-free. But if it's too hard, you can always move up. Down the road, avoid knee pain. That's this stretch here in this, can't see, 90-degree angle position where you just lean forward and make it easier by leaning over your knee, and make it more difficult by leaning your body over the center of your body between these areas. So just going down and feeling the stretch for a little bit, come back up, really puts a stretch in the back of, well, in the back of your leg. For me, my hips are just really tight. This is just an everyday problem that can be addressed with just 90-90 stretching. So just reps up and down for a little bit. I feel pretty stretched out in the hip area, and I think I'm ready to hit some abs. You're reclining back like you're in a chair, but you also bring your knees toward your face. Something like this. Try to get as many reps until you get really fatigued and you can't do it anymore. Targets the lower section of the core. As you can tell, it's really difficult in this position just to hold that for just a second. Will help your core become stronger. And if you stop for a second, just give it a sec, take a breath, and you go back right into it until you get to a point where you feel like you really can't go anymore. Here we'll go with a plank with a certain twist to it. It'll look like, so you're out like this, back flat, and you bring your knees toward the front of your body. Nice and steady with the reps. At this point, I feel like this is already a productive rest day. Something I'll just do on my off days, and you could hit something else besides main body parts on your rest days. It could be just a neglected area like abs, or mobility weaknesses. So at this point, want to keep going. I'm going back to the front, lying on the ground. Same recliner position, except it's elbow to knee, getting rotation in to hit the oblique areas. And you bring your opposite elbow to knee.
DavidSoniaBeats.com. Purchase beats with no tags.
So that to me is considered that it's time to move on to the next thing and go back to the plank position, except you can go in a push-up position. And now you're just tapping your shoulders. This works core stability. I'm not trying to rock my body too much. You can take a sec, take a breath, and then you go back in. Now we just got one more thing left, and that's just holding it on the side. You can keep your arm extended like that, or you can bring it down like that. Trying to bring this area to the ceiling.
DavidSonia.
Okay, that's like 10 to 15 minutes of moving joints, stretching, which I put as a priority on my rest days. The thing is the abs. You could train your core a lot. Doesn't have to be weighted exercises. It can also be just body weight stuff in your own home, and you can keep it intense and still get ab pump. It's a mini workout. It's like 10 movements. It takes a little time. I feel like I did something productive for a rest day. Not trying to do too much. Just a little bit of both mobility and abs that I feel like, yeah, just able to keep my body conditioned and ready to go for next training sessions. So, yeah, probably gonna refuel after this.